Hi everyone. So in this short video, I'd like to walk you through the uh, introduction section of my chosen research article titled Exploring the Impact of Automated Written Corrective Feedback on the Academic Writing Skills of EFL Learners, an Activity Theory Perspective. Instead of just matching parts of the text with academic moves, I will analyze how each sentence builds the introduction based on Swalls and Fix 2004 with Carr's model, and which reflects how academic writers establish a research territory, identify a gap, and then present their studies purposes. So let's begin with the first sentence in the introduction section. I highlight the first sentence with yellow color, and it stated recent advances in English language learning and technology have focused on second and foreign language writing performance. So the sentence signals that the topic is important and then widely studied. It says that the stage and then tell us this is a current and relevant area. So this sentence works to establish the territory or commonly said as research background. And next to the last sentence of the paragraph, we can see in the last paragraph I've highlighted with the orange color. It states that in addition, OETF is guided objective rules and norms to address specific writing skill and so on and so forth. So it's still part of move 1, specifically in step 3, that reviewing previous research or providing background. So it offers additional information about how OHF works and how it differs from traditional written corrective feedback that we also known like feedback from our teachers. So this background helps readers to understand key terms and then concept before the study introduce its own niche. So overall, this first paragraph is fully within move 1 as it sets the scene for the study by showing the importance of the topic and reviewing relevant prior knowledge. And then this is the second paragraph. Uh, I don't highlight any sentence in the second paragraph, but we can see there is a word in the uh, last sentence in this second paragraph. Please scroll a little bit down. Yeah, stop. Stop. Yeah. You can see there is a word that, however, it's commonly used for research gap to show the research gap, but in this case, however, is used to show a balanced view of the previous studies. So it is not introduced as a research gap, I mean. So the paragraph continues to give background information about OHF by explaining both the benefits like consistent feedback and then saving teachers' time and also the limitations such as focusing only on surface level issues and lacking human interaction. So it still helps to build understanding of the research topic. Next, we are going to move to the third paragraph. In this third paragraph, I highlighted the sentence with the green color. This is move to or establishing a niche. The first sentence it states that several studies have focused on the impact of OHF on EFL learners, writing, and so on and so forth. This sentence serves as a transition from move one. It summarizes what previous research has already investigated. So, which set the stage that for identifying the research gap. So, it's not the gap statement, but the gap statement is showed in the next sentence. It started with, however, gaps still exist in the literature. I highlighted with the red color. So this sentence functions as a gap statement. It signals that although OETF has been studied, there are still missing aspects. So it's particularly regarding how OHF affects with writing accuracy in connection with all dimension of the feedback provided. So in the next sentence that I highlight with the pink color, it stated that, moreover, although a substantial body of studies have explored the effects and so on and so forth, so this sentence is uh, part of further elaborates on the gap. So it means that the researchers try to explain about the gap statement with uh, sup, and it's supported by previous studies, and then their argument about this gap, and it shows that existing research has mostly focused on writing accuracy, but has not looked deeply or it's remain underexplored into another important aspect of academic writing, such as task achievement, and then coherence and cohesion, vocabulary use, and grammatical range. So finally, in the paragraph closes with an additional gap, I highlighted it with the blue. No, sorry. I mean before the blue color. It's related to learning engagement. It points that the tripartite framework that used by the researchers of engagement, behavioral, cognitive, and affective. So the researchers tried to look this uh, this study with the tripartite framework to find the engagement of the students to the OHF, which is believed to play an important role in learning, has not been truly examined in OHF studies. So this paragraph fully develops move 2 by clearly identifying what is missing in previous research and justifying the need for the current study. So let's move to the next paragraph that I highlight with the blue color. It stated that whilst exploring the impact of OHF on writing skills provides valuable and so on and so forth, this helps transition from the previous gap to the new focus of the current study. So introducing its novelty, we can say it like novelty, and it emphasizes that studying learners like behavioral, cognitive, and then affective engagement gives a more complete picture of how OHF affects the learning process. So I can say that it's something has been underexplored in the previous study. So next, in the sentence that I highlight with the uh, deep blue, it stated that in the current study we explored the impact of OHF on learners. Oh, sorry, I highlighted with purple color. In the current study, we explored the impact of OHF on AFL learners, academic writing skill, comparing task achievement, and so on and so forth. This is the objective statement. So the research just clearly outlining what this study aims to investigate. So this includes task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical research, and then grammatical range and accuracy. So with a special focus, or the main focus of the study is writing accuracy. Next, I also highlighted with a purple color too. So it stated that OEGF provided by the online platform was also tracked to explore how the learners would address and so on and so forth until experience of OEGF. This is the specific objectives, or we can say it's the second objectives of the study. So looking at how learners responded to feedback and how they were engaged behaviorally, cognitively, and then effectively, the last sentence of the paragraph I highlighted with another purple color. Uh, its sentence is also includes another specific objective, which is exploring learners' attitudes and perceptions. So the researchers is try to adding more personal experiential angle, so it can explore how the students perspective, or how the students react to the LWGF feedback. And then we can move to the next paragraph. The next paragraph that that I highlighted with gray color. The current study proposed a comprehensive understanding and so on and so forth until sentence structures, which is a serve as a broad aim of the study, not just measuring outcomes, but the researchers is try to understand how and why OHF supports writing development. So the next two sentences, it's also the main findings. It's explained that OHF helps learner meet the writing task requirements and so on and so forth. And then finally, the paragraph that concludes with the contribution of the study, I highlighted with the green color from the sentence. This study also contributed blah 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 until writing-based intervention. This is the contribution that the research tried to highlight in the study. So it shows that how the findings offer valuable insight into how learners interact with OHF platforms. So like suggesting how these tools can be designed or improved to better suit learners' need in the further writing courses, and this is also points to a practical implication uh, that commonly we can say it is the implication of the study for technology enhanced in writing instruction. So uh, I also found that the researchers try to explore the the research question, how to answer the problem in the first introduction. There are three research questions that researchers try to explore. The first one is what are the differences between AWJF and then WJF, and also how does AWJF impact EFL learners with, and then sorry, I mean, how does OHF impact EFL learners? And it's seen by tripartite framework. And then the last point is what attitudes or perception do EFL learners hold when they are engaged with the OHF? So in my opinion, this introduction section is well structured and then effectively written, but I think that this introduction is quite too long for the beginner level, and then it's clearly established the research territory, and then identifies research gap and present the researcher's purpose. I mean, and then it's also stated about the novelty of the study. So the flow from the general background to specific is focused and then logical. So I can say that the researchers is try to give the further suggestion for another research that can study this problem, and then the use of up-to-date references, we can see that it less than 10 years, and then the references is strengthened with the argument. uh, I mean that the researchers is try to explain what their argument about this topic or this problem, not only put the previous study and then the statement, but also they try to explain what is their argument about this problem. So overall, it does a good job of justifying why the study is important, and then what it aims to contribute in the next uh, academic floor. And that's all for my introduction section analysis. Thank you for your attention and have a nice day.